I think it's going to be a more refined video this time. Much better. Hello everybody, this is Dice Darlings. I'm your host Marcin, and today I'm going to share some of my thoughts about ongoing discussion about hobbies, media, and everything nerdy. The discussion, I may add, that's been going on for literal ages. I feel like it's from at least beginning of mankind. So I've spent my teenage years and early 20s watching a lot of YouTube, gaming-oriented YouTubers to be specific. I would often boot up some videos and put them as a background to my gaming session, and at the time I've played a lot of MMORPGs. Being a poor kid, I played the free ones, and if you need to know anything about the free MMORPGs, is that they suck. They are awful. Despite that, I loved them and was ready to sacrifice hours of my day grinding out every drop of content I could find. And then I found a YouTuber named Josh Strife Hayes who specialized in reviewing MMORPGs. And today I want to share one clip from his stream where he's confronting a viewer that's offended by his critique of his favorite MMO.
I mean, yeah, if you enjoyed Terra and you've spent 11 years in there, okay, cool. Great. Did you have fun? I played Neverwinter for like 5 years. I had fun. It's a bad game, but I had fun. If I say your game is not as good as it could be, I'm not saying that you didn't have fun. I'm not invalidating your experience. Like, did you actually watch the video, genuinely? Because if you watched the video, what you will have heard is me explain that I like Terra, I like the combat, and I like the situations you can get into, but I don't like the fact that the choices they have made have killed the game. You need to understand, I didn't kill Terra because I don't develop Terra. What I have done is reported on what the developer has done. And if you're upset about that, that's not my fault for telling you, it's the developer's fault for doing it. Don't get sad or angry or annoyed at the person who tells you what's happening.
And I'm not going to lie, this nuanced grey area between loving something and hating something was completely new to me, and it completely shook my world. The idea that you can enjoy something even when you see its flaws, or that you can dislike something even though you know it's good, revolutionary at that time. I think it's also the point that a lot of fans and content creators miss in the ongoing discussion about various media they enjoy. I know it's a bit of reinventing the wheel at this point, but internet is made by polarization. Every social media thrives on attention, and the best way to get attention is to cause a conflict between two radical opinions. You are either against show A because of LGBT themes, or you are for show A because you are a leftist cuck. We'll put a pin on that for now, okay? Returning to the point made in the video I showed you, it's good to be critical of the things you like. One reason is that you can only make it better if you look at the whole of it, the good and the bad, and think why each part is what it is. Is your favorite show suffering from a terrible pacing, cringy dialogue, or maybe one-dimensional characters? Maybe your favorite RPG is trying to do everything at once, while at the core of it, it's just a pretty good war game. I don't know what's this D&D logo doing here. What's great about looking for faults in media you enjoy like that is what comes after. Take me for example, I love D&D, but I always felt there was this chaotic element. The rules were either too detailed or too vague for me, and I felt this dissonance and had to choose between either making a ruling on the spot or frantically searching in the rulebook for a specific rule. I went looking for something different and I found Pathfinder 2e. If there's anything to know about Pathfinder is that it has rules for every, and I mean every, occasion. I remember post in a nerdy Facebook group I belong to. I just realized how old it makes me sound. Facebook groups are like Discord servers for you Gen Alpha, Gen Z, whatever. Anyway, someone was complaining about having to devise like a rule to decide if someone can catch something that's being thrown at them in D&D. And the first comment was literally like a screenshot of Pathfinder rules, and where the exact mechanic is described in a detailed way. Anyway, Pathfinder was fun for a while, but it still wasn't what I was looking for. And that's how I found my love for narrative RPGs. Without ever analyzing what I disliked about D&D and just sticking to it because it's D&D and I love D&D, it's like the best system, I would be stuck in this loop of feeling like there is something missing but never actually looking for it. I think the lack of this nuanced way of seeing things is there because we very easily form attachments to the things we enjoy, and we begin to perceive attack on the medium or the hobby as attack on ourselves. Remember that pin from a minute ago? If you look at my channel, I've made 2 videos responding to people that seem to really care about TTRPGs. I say seem because I don't think they are. As much as I hate the term, culture war is here and it's thriving, at least on the side that wants to be mad about their hobby for some reason. I sometimes consume the so-called grifter takedown content as a guilty pleasure. They are all awfully worried about gays and lesbians and trans people entering their hobby and destroying it, and brainwashing kids and kidnapping kids, and it's silly. It's just silly. What I find interesting about it is that they never seem to have anything positive to say about their hobbies. It's just a constant rain of videos like newest predator is destroyed by walk. That opinion was formed after watching a trailer. Or Daggerheart RPG is pronouns and prom queens. This is an interesting take. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
Character sheets with pronouns. I'm going to zoom in. I shit you not. We have character sheets with pronouns. Now, do I know if the game's any good? No, I don't know. I'm just telling you, just as a consumer, I'm going to take one look at this and I'm going to be like, nah, I'm good. Pronouns on your character sheet? Nah, I'm good.
So Clownfish TV made a video complaining about Critical Role's newest new RPG, they have just one, Daggerheart, on the merit of it having pronouns on a character sheet. Ja pierdolę, co o czym ja kurwa mówię. That's literally all of it. There isn't any in-depth analysis of mechanics, world building, or even like a detailed look at the character sheet. And the worst part of it is that people are eating this up. They love this kind of content. They would rather turn away a pretty good RPG system than be seen playing something with pronouns on a character sheet. It seems like they are really only interested in contact with titles like the X thing is ruined now, or X person lost their job, maybe our hobby can be saved after all. And the most painful aspect of this polarization is what it leads to. Have you heard of the Stellar Blade? The game was trending for a while because of nice looking boobs. Lady. I think that's mostly it. People were going crazy about Return of the Good Games and that gaming sphere is finally safe. Apparently, the more canonically attractive the character, the better the game. On the merit of boobs, you see. And it finally came out, and turns out it's a decent game with a pretty good combat system. But if you look at the Grifters, it's a game of the year, baby! Despite the story of the game being pretty weak, the characters behind the boobs being one-dimensional to the point of creators of the game actually admitting that they fucked up and they will do better with the sequel. But the most important factor is that the woman in-game is attractive, right? And this is the problem. If you are at this point, you aren't getting a good product, you are getting the product catered to your lizard brain that's going, they don't like it, so it's good. You aren't looking at the good and the bad, you aren't looking at all. I think in Cinemasphere, the most telling example of grift like that is creator known as Critical Drinker. He's a guy pretending to be drunk and posing himself as an expert of all things cinema. This is non-alcoholic, by the way. Let's take a look at one video where he claims that Japanese movies are getting more traction than the Western ones, okay?
There's a reason people like in the West are starting to draw more and more towards Korean or Japanese filmmaking. It's precisely because it's a bit different from what we get. That's a good thing.
Yeah, what is the most recent Japanese film or at least entertainment that you enjoyed so far?
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example. Okay. I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like that, and it's like Chinese, I think. But yeah, like it's.
Okay. We agree that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, right? He's picked two movies, one is Korean, one is Chinese. They are both pretty old by the standards of today. And his webcam wasn't even on. If he wanted to, he could even Google some Japanese movies and post himself as an expert because he likes to do so. And he doesn't because he knows his audience will eat it up either way. He knows he can post any thesis, and as long as it agrees with general feelings of his viewers, he will have their support. A great example of that is how he treated this little-known movie called Sinners. See, critic knows he can't really say anything bad about this movie because it's pretty great. But if he said it's just good, a lot of his casual viewers would riot in the comments on the merit of a movie being woke because it has Black and Asian characters as a main cast, and I don't know, it's probably talking about colonialism or another leftist bullshit, right? See, Critic did something really clever. He reviewed the movie and posted it on his second channel. His second channel that wouldn't get as much attention from his casual viewers, but would definitely be found by his hardcore audience. This way he can avoid getting eaten by his own casual fans, while still maintaining the illusion that he is fair and rational. And again, people who are consuming this kind of content are just lost, being misled by cynic creators who just want to make a quick buck on the back of racist and sexist ideology. They've basically traded their enjoyment of hobby in favor of fighting a one-sided war. They've rejected it for picking a side and sticking to it despite everything. They've lost an ability to experience the hobby without the lenses of us versus them, and they are just feeding people who are getting rich on their emotions. Well, if there's something to take from this video, it's this. Remember to always be critical of media and creators you enjoy. Think before jumping to the defense of them. Are you fighting with haters or are you deflecting an honest critique? The worst thing that can come from it is that you will be safe from being preyed upon or just see the flaws you haven't noticed before. And the best thing, you may find more of what you love. Bye bye.